Devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand.
And look at Jochen Hahn and Antonio Albacete. The two of them go flying through the right-hand side, then the left-hand side. Jochen Hahn around the outside, and Lucas Hahn, no father and son, come together on the exit of turn one.
And the best thing about this is the fact that it's still a 15-minute sprint race. They've not extended the time of the race. It's still just like, it's going to be, what, 7 laps of Spa-Francorchamps?
Yeah. We get to the real nitty-gritty of motorsport. Cranston and Smith are side by side for the title in the very final race of the season. As they go back up the hill towards the Schumacher S. Nils Kor clips the back at 10. Simon Povey clips the side of Nils Kor. They go over the hill and Povey's around.
Oh my god, that's going to definitely be the thumbnail, isn't it? Hit me in the right direction.
Thank you so much.
23 cars.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Hello everybody, welcome to Chaz Draycott Media and welcome to the very first race meeting in the CDM Clio Cup here on the channel. We're here at the wonderful Circuit de Magny-Cours in France, which is rather ironic really. We've got French cars and a French circuit and no Darragh Thacker because guess where he is? He's in France. Luckily, we've got one of France's finest joining me in the commentary box tonight. My good mate and series admin, Francois Brandet, joins me in the box. Francois, your commentary debut on the channel and the debut of this series should be a good night, right?
Bonsoir à tous. Yeah, good evening. Funny bit, you know, you replace the professional English caster with the low-cost quality French guy. You probably found sidetrack. But yeah, it's going to be a great fun and a nice way to start the season with this new car and a new combo.
Yeah, it should be really, really good to see just how the drivers cope over the course of the season. It's certainly not going to be the easiest of championships for them. This is what the calendar looks like. And as you can see, we are going to some wonderful, wonderful racetracks. We start in Europe here at Magny-Cours, then we head over to Misano, where I was just a couple of weeks ago, actually, with the trucks. We then go all the way over to Japan, to Okayama, back to Donington Park, where we'll have the first ever wet race in a Chaz Draycott Media series. Then we go to Jerez in Spain, where it's very much not going to be wet. It's going to be red hot in Jerez. Then we go all the way over to the United States, to Barber, back to Zolder, and back to some rain. And then two absolute belters with Red Bull Ring and Zandvoort. Two circuits there that, to be fair, Francois, they really do lend themselves to slipstreaming, which is going to be all important at a track like that.
Yeah, I do agree, and it's also a nice calendar in which, you know, you go visit the whole planet to show how stupid French cars are. It's going to be great fun. I'm excited for a few of these races. Excited also for the first raining events of the CDM series. Should be great fun.
Absolutely. We've got a wonderful amount of cars and liveries to look at. We've got the bearded Bumblebee racing car of Jan Ostberg. Jan, a driver that I've commentated on many a time in the Sim Racing International Leagues, previously ESR. Practice is coming to a close, though, and the drivers will be kicked off the circuit almost instantly. And then we are going to get qualifying underway for the first ever time in the CDM Clio Cup. There's going to be a lot of firsts here tonight. But a difference here, Francois, instead of the qualifying sessions that we're used to, where we have one shot in Formula CDM, it's a bit different here, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that the good thing is that we're not going to have any driver missing their in-lap after they're done with the qualifying with the open qualifying format. But yeah, I think it's going to be all about, you know, when do you go on track? Do you try to find some clear air? Do you try to find somebody a bit faster than you so you could use the draft a bit? We do know Magny-Cours has like very long straight, especially on the first sector, so it's probably worth giving a shot, I think.
Absolutely. We'll go on board now with Jan Stitchbury, one of the first drivers out there. Some of the names that you'll see on the dashboards and on the windows might not quite match up to what their names show as in the timing towers or anything. Basically, that's down to how iRacing names them in the leagues and what we change their names to and so on. You'll see that change over the course of the season. Hard onto the brakes into their hairpin, then goes Jan. These cars never look that fast. That's the funny thing about these Clios. The racing that they produce is absolutely mesmerising, but they never look rapid, although you really have to be on the limit in them, don't you, Francois? The sort of turn-in is not massive, but the back end is just along for the ride.
Yeah, exactly. They never really look that you're going that quick, but they never do, whether you're outside or inside the car. But it's all about finding the good balance, or do you try to put your nose in, do you try to not lose the rear? It's also quite difficult because that car, as you reminded, you need to upshift at a very certain point in the RPM, unless you want to basically die out on the track. It's not what our drivers are used to in the other series you organized, so it's going to be exciting to see how they adapt to that new car.
This is a driver that we're going to keep our eye on this season, Dylan Da Costa. He is renowned in the Clio Cup community on iRacing as one of the very finest in these little cars. And he races for RD Simsport, a team that I've commentated on a number of times, a really well-represented squad. There's going to be 4 of them with us this season who we're looking forward to seeing. We've got James Pallett and his teammate Alex Fretwell racing for 9PP Racing, but apparently they have disbanded as of this afternoon, unfortunately. Jean Brayton back out there in the barbecue bread racing machine. I mean, that livery looks good on just about every car that they ever put it on. It's absolutely stunning. And a very striking livery of the Gold Sus team of Sam Van Olst and Jack Johns. I believe they used to be called Goldwing or something like that. But they have the Gold Sus squad and this very shiny livery. Oh, hello, that's Danny Weir. Who else? Making it around the first few corners there in the HW Racing machine. Him and his teammate Matt Hoyland. Hoyland's another one that we've seen quite a lot of before, isn't he?
Yeah, but Matt is the kind of guy who's really annoying because every time he gets in the car, he's immediately fast in it. So,
yeah.
You might want to put him in a very different car in, like, let's just say a lower category that the race you're going into, and he's still going to be faster than you are. So it's quite the annoying guy, that Matt Hoyland. But
yeah.
Since we were talking about livery, I can't not say that I love the Aura Motorsport livery. You know, Jens, the kind of mental painter who actually made a livery for every car on the service.
Yeah,
I think that's something that needs to be just commended.
Yeah, hang it in the Louvre.
Yeah, exactly. I know the password now for the Louvre. It's Louvre.
123 2015. There's
that was a funny story. The actual password for the cybersecurity of the Louvre was actually Louvre.
Oh my god.
You know, when it got robbed a few months ago.
Oh god, yeah, it was. That's amazing.
That's where the float was. Anyway, French, you know.
That's incredible. We look here at Harry 7. Oh, dearie me. He's about 7 meters wide of the apex there in the Spectra racing machine.
I was about to say that.
We've got them lined up. There's him and his teammate Jordan. These two are teammates, just in different colours of the same livery. Jordan Butler is the purple one. Harry 7 is the yellow one. We have John Brayton back fastest at the moment ahead of Martin Kenyon. Stuart Clark for Ragnotti Racing. He's teamed up with Leo Anya for this season in this gorgeous retro colour scheme on the car. I'm not sure if this is going to be their permanent livery or whether it's just one that they've mustered up for this round. We are using trading paints for the liveries this season, so all the drivers will be posting their own liveries online. They may develop and change over the course of the season, but we'll have to wait and see. This is Ben Gregory in the should be boosted Sim Sport colour scheme. We'll change that on our screens, but yeah, we've had a bit of a discussion about this, haven't we? There you go. It was going to happen. Boo.
No, it's okay. You can call me Dara because Dara is such a great guy on the booth. It's only a compliment if you call me Dara. You know what? I'll not take offense.
I appreciate it. Well, then again, I think the first time I commentated with Dara, I called him Ed twice, I think. So yeah, that didn't go down too well. But yeah, you'll just see the overlay flick on and off as Ben Gregory is now boosted Sim Sport. The drivers are allowed to team up for the championship, but only in teams of 2, just to keep things nice and tight in the championship fight. It's not very nice and tight at the top at the moment, though, is it? Though we've got Sam Van Olst 9/10 of a second clear at the minute, Francois.
Yeah, he's quite quick in the car, but we've also just realised that Stuart Clark was sidetracked a bit as he went for a little dive on the outside of turn 9. He just managed to rejoin the track, but that certainly is going to hurt his tires a bit. So let's see how it is developed. I actually have no clue how tires work on that car, so I'm not going to project or try to come up with any clever analysis because I certainly can't do that whatsoever. Well, that's a general thing, you know.
I think the key thing with these cars is the rear tyres are, well, they may as well not be there. They're along for the ride on the back of these machines, and they really just sort of, I think it's only the edge of the tyre that ever really gets used, as Dylan DaCosta goes another 1.2 seconds quicker than Sam Van Olst. That is incredible. Sam was already 9/10 clear, but then Dylan is just, in a car that barely does 100 miles an hour around here, has just gone 1.2 seconds quicker. And I suppose that's the beauty of cars like this, though, isn't it? Because they're a bit slower than your GT cars or your Formula cars. So you get more time to really assess what you're doing and think about, well, any moves you're going to make. So it's all about carrying momentum, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think there's a simpler explanation of that. I think that's the home turf buff from them. You know, a French driver, obviously, so far at least, smashing the leaderboard or the standings rather in a French car around a French track. So you know, just French whatsoever. It's like your worst nightmare.
Yeah, home ground. He's really throwing it through that chicane, though. It's great to see. These are cars that really do show off a lot of body language. I had the absolute privilege of commentating on the real-world Clio Cup Europe for 2 years, and I can tell you that these cars really do show a lot of body language just about everywhere. They move around a lot. They're hilarious fun to watch. John Breitenbach, the South African, going really well at the moment in 3rd place. He's only ever driven this car for 15 minutes. He hadn't driven it before tonight, and he's gone 3rd fastest already. Sure, he's 1.9 seconds off pole position, or, well, even provisional pole, because I'd argue Dylan can probably go faster than that, but he's doing a good job at the moment, to say the least.
Yeah, and that's also showing how quick Dylan is, because you want to look at, like, the top 3, top 4, and there are about a couple of seconds already behind Dylan. So
yeah,
let's just hope for the other drivers that it's not going to get bigger and bigger, because if not, it's going to be quite a depressing long races.
Maybe so. Oh, James Powlett goes straight on there, down at the hairpin. He tries to stay out of the way. That's Jan Osberg going through in the bearded Bumblebee racing machine over the curbs, hop, skip and a jump. And across the line he goes. Are we going to see? Yes, more representative time from Jan. He goes into 4th position ahead of Jack Johns, who also improves but stays in 5th position. It's going to be super interesting to see how the guys manage these cars over the course of the season. It's not really a lively place to be on board this car, because you want to use as little lock as possible to not wash the speed off. And, I mean, if we look at the speed, he's only doing 86 miles an hour.
Yeah. It's a bit like, Mom, why are you driving on the track with the family car?
Yeah, it really is. But that's the joy of these machines. You know, they don't have to be 500 horsepower with huge wings. They don't have to be open-wheel race cars. Clios, I mean, we've seen it for many years all over the world that the Renault Clio is an absolute treat of a race car to have on screen. And, well, we look forward to seeing how this season pans out. If you excuse me for just a moment, we've got Ashley Beard in the session now. He's joined in. He's going to be racing for Spontex CDM Esports, is Ash. He's going to be racing for Spontex CDM Esports Blue, but he only joined the season about, well, an hour before we went live here. So I'm just having to put some of his decals on the car for when he shows up, because, well, they're not on it just yet, so you're going to have to bear with me. Lee Berridge on screen. You've raced against Lee quite a bit so far, haven't you, Francois, in other series?
Yeah, I think you're quite generous. I think I raced anybody in previous seasons, but yeah, Lee was indeed on track around me somewhere when I was trying not to throw myself off a bridge or to a wall in during the many championships we had together. But Lee's obviously a great guy in terms of pace, obviously. Not saying that the person is obviously not good, you know, but yeah. So let's just see how his space his space translates to from a Formula car to a Clio Cup car. Because I think, you know, when I started racing, I've been told, and I think that car embodies that perfectly, that you were to learn a bit more about how racing works in general in slower car like this one, like the MX-5s, more than you would in a G3. And I think the Clio Cup is the perfect example of that. Because it does not have a lot of power. It doesn't have a lot of... It's not helping you. It's not doing the work for you. You know, you're not immediately quick on it. But once you're there, you know you're doing something good. It's not the car doing it. It's you doing it.
Yeah, they are very driver dependent. All the drivers are on the same setup as well this season. I'm just waiting to see Ash's livery update, and I'm hoping it will change to there it is, the Spontex CDM Esports blue livery on the number 17. Very, very good. But yeah, Ash is racing for my team this season, I'm happy to say, with my good mate James Underhill. Both him and Ash have just rejoined iRacing after a long hiatus away. And as you can see, Ash just getting used to the braking capabilities, or lack of, with this car at the minute. But what about this man, Francois? Dylan Da Costa, currently a second clear. Sure, it's a 2-minute lap, so it's quite a long lap, which means that the gaps will be exaggerated, but this guy's got it nailed.
Yeah, I'm just trying to appreciate every turn, every corner, because you do. I feel like when you're watching him, that guy knows the car, you know, like on the tip of his fingers. It's like he knows the car. He does know the car. And I said as he bumps either Martin or...
Yeah, it's Martin.
Oh, yeah, it's Martin. No, it's right.
I was wondering if you'd be all right with it being Martin.
Let's go, Dylan, push him more.
But you could just see just the confidence on the brakes there from Dylan, just to go that little bit later on the brakes in a car with no ABS as well. Just really float it in. Look at him pushing the limits. He's actually, ooh, that's not going to rub Martin the right way either, to be honest. But yeah, he's really pushed it there.
I think you just make your first caster curse of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, the commentator's curse is quite clear. Matt Hoyland saying, Kio Tiago Marto, is that you? No, not quite. Jack Johns, I was going to say, has gone third fastest. The Gold Sus team are locking out the second row of the grid at the moment, with the Aura Motorsports car of Jan Stitchbury just going second fastest now. He's the only driver that's been able to get within a second of Dylan da Costa, which is very, very impressive. It seems like shiny and purple and pink cars are the ones to be in right near the front of the field. But an interesting thing, though, tonight, Francois, we don't just have a sprint race and a feature like we do in Formula CDM. It's not even just one race. We've got 3 other things to come up.
Yeah, 3 times 20 minutes to appreciate how slow people are. I'm glad I'm not driving anymore. So, you know, because that would be thrice the occasion of being mocked on the internet, and I think I've had enough of that. But yeah, it's if you appreciate the racing, and I think we're going to do it, because obviously slower cars mean a little bit more door-to-door racing. So I think it's going to be all the fun we can have.
It should be. Alex Fretwell is just about to cross the line in this lovely livery. We do have him down in the 9PP team, but no improvement for him there. James Pallett just about to come around the final corner. He hasn't improved on any sectors so far on this lap. Ash Beard is just about to come through the last couple of corners as well. Ash is really quick. Races for Altitude Esports outside of this. He goes 16th fastest at the moment at 2:02.5. Martin Kenyon inside the top 10 at present. He's just about to cross the line. No improvement there for him. Dylan da Costa not improving either. Jack Johns and a few others making their way down. And that's going to be the end of the session now for anybody that's crossing the line, because this is a heat racing session. So as soon as that timer hits 0, that's it. You don't get a chance to then go on and complete your next lap. Jack Johns really attacking the curbs. Is it an improvement? No, it is not. I'd argue Jan Osberg is going to improve, though, and he does. He goes up to 4th place. Ben Gregory 7th, but Jan Osberg moves up to 4th place. Splits the 2 Gold Sus machines. Harry 7 hasn't improved by the look of it. He's currently down in 17th place. Great to see 18 cars here for pre-season testing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Pre-season testing is not necessarily a type of race where everybody like shows up, because it's only pre-season testing. It's just to make sure everything's properly set, stuff like that. But I think the excitement of driving a new car in these new series is bringing people around.
Yeah, absolutely. That is qualifying done with, and very shortly we will get to the very first race of the evening. Don't forget, we have 3 of them. The first 2 are back-to-back. It's very demanding on the drivers, this series, with 3 races per night. Dylan da Costa takes pole position then, ahead of Jan Stitchbury now, nearly a second. Then it's Sam van Olst and Jan Osberg, with Jack Johns and John Breitenbach. A very international first 3 rows. We've then got Ben Gregory next up, ahead of Martin Kenyon. Then we have Stuart Clark and Jordan Butler completing the top 10 positions. James Pallett and Lee Berridge will start alongside one another on the 6th row of the grid. And then in 13th we have Danny Weir. Alex Fretwell in 14th place. John Roberts is 15th alongside Ashley Beard. Then it's Harry 7. And Matt Hoyland didn't set a time in qualifying, but he will be starting from further down the order by the look of it. But it's going to be Dylan da Costa. This is the view back from the RD SimSport machine. Straight out the gates here, Francois. He wants to make an impression, and well, in qualifying alone, he's done just that.
Exactly, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm gonna try not to be biased, but obviously, you know, my fellow comrade from France on the French track in the French car, you know, ahead of every Englishman on the server.
Yeah, it's.
I'm very happy.
You don't say. You don't say. Well, we're just waiting for one more car to make it to the grid, and that'll be John Roberts in the boosted motorsport machine a little bit further back. Here is the view from Hoyland in 18th position on this little grid. But he's going to be...
Nice of you to rub it in.
Yeah.
Last.
Oh, you have to. He always batters me on Forza Horizon 6, so I have to rub it in somewhere.
I mean, get quicker.
I mean, I could try, but I'm not that good. But we now have the little pause while we wait for John Roberts to make it to the grid. He's only got about 10 seconds left, actually, because there's nearly 2 minutes up, and then that'll be it. So I'm not sure we are going to get John on the grid. 5 seconds to go, and he is. Boop, there he is. He pops in. Lovely stuff. Right then, let's get this show on the road then, shall we? For the first ever time, the CDM Clio Cup from Magny-Cours is underway. Straight off the bat, Jan Stitchbury moves over to the left-hand side of the screen to cover off any attack from drivers behind. Dylan Da Costa makes a lovely, clean getaway. And by the look of it, everyone's now going to just try and slipstream in behind. They're not doing an insane amount of speed as they go through turns 1 and 2, but these are Clios. Let's not forget that. Little bit of a run out wide there for Jordan Butler. He's going to lose a bit of ground. He's got to be careful coming back down the inside of where Alex Fretwell is. Jordan losing time after time after time on the outside line. First few corners, though, Francois, nice and clean.
Yeah, nice and clean. We've seen a little push and bump here and there, but nothing so far. I think it's all going to be about finding a gap in which, park the car, try to follow the guy around you. These drivers, they know each other from other series, but they probably don't know if they're as fast as what they're used to in that car. So let's see how these develops.
Well, John Breitenbach went a little bit deep on the brakes there, and also going with him was, I think, Martin Kenyon. A little bit of argy-bargy in the middle here. Jordan Butler's involved in this as well, look. Nearly 2x2. Jordan trying to stay in the middle of the road. He's got Martin Kenyon on the outside of Danny Weir in there. Jordan throws it up the inside, says, go on then, I'll take that round. There we go. Lovely stuff. Stuart Clark just up the road has a yellow flag next to him. That means he's got a slowdown penalty. Jan Osberger's gone way off. We're going to see a lot of that, aren't we, this season, with people losing it on the brakes and overdoing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it's all about finding how the car reacts when you try to be as accurate on the brake as you would when there's no car around you. But obviously these cars, they like to fight, they like to be around other cars. So it's going to be, do you try to unsettle the car, or do you try to go for a move? Do you
oh no, Danny Weir has just headbutted Stuart Clark up at the hairpin. Massive old smack in the right rear for Stuart there, and well, he gets away with it. Harry Seven and Matt Hoyland having a good first lap. They've gained 5 places each, but at the end of the first lap, Dylan Da Costa in that last sector has really opened up the lead. He had the other guys slipstreaming in for a moment. Now it's Jan Stitchbury and Sam Van Olst that are going to be fighting for the next positions.
Yeah, I trust Jan is not going to get too marooned, I would say, compared to Dylan. But obviously, Dylan, very fast guy, is already showing that he knows the car. He's trying to push, but I think it's going to be a bit easier when you're trying to set the pace and when you're trying to follow the leader, plus try to defend on the second position. But so far, very, very well behaved, the front of the pack, and it's a bit more lively in the back.
Absolutely is. There's Stuart Clark here with a load of guys behind him. I'm happy to say I've worked on a battle box graphic for this season, but for some reason it never starts in the right form. You've got Stuart Clark in 8th place, but look at this, all the other guys just behind him, barely spread out at all. As late on the brakes goes Jordan Butler. Oh, and he's smacked into Matt Hoyland. Jordan Butler way too late on the brakes, making big contact with the car in front. And Hoyland gets absolutely slapped. Let's see what happened here from the rear view, from the right car. Actually, you are going to see it from this car, look. Hoyland went round the outside. Okay. So Hoyland went round the outside. We'll see this again. Hoyland's the white and orange car on the left. It's 2 teammates, Harry Seven and Jordan Butler, side by side. And Jordan's just that bit too hard on the brakes, hits Breitenbach, and then hits Hoyland. Oh, it's a big old mess, Francois.
Yeah, but I think Jordan trying to be a bit too excited about going into that corner, ends up touching 2 asses for one. A little promo on track, but yeah, now Matt has to do it all over again.
Yeah, he's going to be gutted about that. Oh, John Roberts goes for a little jaunt through the French countryside. Well, that's 1 place gained for Hoyland. Simon with his usual fantastic humour in the YouTube chat. Good to see you, Simon. Saying of Magny-Cours, we're going to see problems in that corner. As Jan Osberg has a black flag. Now, that's very early, because in these races, the drivers have 20 incident points before they get a drive-through penalty, and then they get 25 and they will be disqualified on the spot. So I'm wondering if he's had a slowdown penalty that he just hasn't served in time to get that, because that seems, I mean, it's lap 3. Like, calm down, Jan. You surely haven't got 20 incident points in 3 laps.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I'm quickly rewinding through the race. He's been hit before, so he's had probably 1 or 2 4Xs, but like you said, it's only the 3rd lap, so one would assume he's not yet reached the threshold for getting a penalty.
Yeah, you'd hope not. Good to see my mate Jack Johns back in the sim as well. He rejoined the wonderful world of sim racing again recently. Still living out in the UAE and having a fantastic time. I was having a little chat with him the other day, and he's running well at the moment, right up behind Ben Gregory. But Ben's having a great race. He's gained 3 places. He's gained 2 places. As he tries to cut back across Jack. It doesn't leave him all the room on the inside, but that's the joy of these cars. Away from Formula CDM, they can lean on each other a little bit, get door to door slightly, and have some proper good scrapping. And I'm sure these two are going to show us just that. Usually in the real world, these cars have massive amounts of slipstream about them, but here on iRacing, it seems like it's not quite as potent, which is weird.
Yeah, not really, but at the same time, I don't think, like, when you're gone, when you're not on the first sector, I think slipstream does not really matter too much in here, because you need to be finding the apex on every turn if you want to be quick, and I think it's not really a track in which you can really follow a guy long enough to actually use his slipstream effectively.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to... Oh, my goodness me. You've got to utilise every little bit of it. And I'm not surprised Ben Gregory got a slowdown penalty there for that. He's going to have to give up a little bit of time to the car behind. Car in front is Sam Van Olst, and he is all over the back of Ryan Stitchbury now in these two very funky liveries. Very interesting looking race cars. Last lap of the race for Dylan Da Costa was a 1:56.1. He was 1.4 seconds quicker than Ryan Stitchbury on that last lap. Dylan Da Costa is currently absolutely flying. I wonder whether he's going to be the Norbert Kish of Clio racing. Norbert Kish is a Hungarian truck racing driver who every weekend in the European Championship wins races 1 and 3, where he just qualifies on pole and drives off. Think Sebastian Vettel 2013. But right now we've got some good scraps going on between these guys here. We'll go a little bit further back and we'll see Harry Seven with John Brayton back behind him, and then in front of him we've got Stuart Clark. Another black flag for James Pallett in the 9PP Racing Machine, down in 15th place. Oh, Dylan Da Costa with a slowdown penalty. Easily done round here, though, isn't it? Because there's so many chicanes and so much runoff.
Yeah, exactly. Especially around that part, you pick up, or you try to reach that part. You go a little bit too quick. You get on the inside because you don't want to, like, crash out on the sand on the outside, but then you're too short or you're too much on the inside and it's a slowdown. I wouldn't be too worried about Dylan, obviously, because even if he's going to lose time, I don't think he's in any danger, because if we only look at the space, I think that guy is on another planet already. But yeah.
Absolutely. There's the movers and shakers on the left-hand side of your screen. You can see that Alex Fretwell, who we look at right now, is the biggest mover in the field so far, and he's about to extend that gain as well. Lee Berridge has gained 6 places, so these two having a really good run. Harry Seven is up into the top 10, and he's in that scrap in the background. In fact, he's side by side with John Brayton back just here as they come down the hill. It seems like, I mean, it felt to me like the field spread out a little bit in the opening laps, but now it's all got closer. Oh, lovely avoidance by Stuart Clark. Wow. Stuart saw that one coming a mile away. That was absolutely brilliant. Now he's sideways and with Jordan Butler. Oh, my word. Fair play, yeah. Stuart Clark. That's move of the season already, and we're not even at round 1.
I think John Bryan back just realized he forgot his phone at home, so wanted to get there, but yeah, nice awareness from Stuart.
He came steaming through. Like, he came absolutely steaming on by. I don't know why that transition is taking so long to play, sorry. Let's have a look. Just listen. Wow. That was a hell of an off. But Stuart Clark, absolutely brilliant behaviour there to avoid that. Oh, no, Kenyon. Oh, Stuart can't avoid that one. Oh, Martin. Oh, no. Stuart got really done in there by the contact.
I mean, it's all familiar scenes, you know. A very quick guy that's ahead of the rest of the pack, and then Martin doing stupid stuff. That's just CDM for us. I love you, mate.
Oh, man. Stuart, poor Stuart. That car is very broken. This is going to look very funny from Matt Hoyland's perspective, because he was behind all of this. He sees Martin late on the brakes, big lock up into Stuart. He hits Harry Seven, gets hit by Jordan Butler, then hit by Harry Seven the other way. Oh, he just gets passed between the two Spectra racing machines. It's a huge shame that for Stuart. But don't forget, there's another interesting element to tonight that we haven't spoken about yet. And that is that race 2 of the evening, which comes straight after this, while the red mist is still very much apparent on these drivers, they get a reverse grid. So the top 15 will be reversed, which means that at the moment James Pallett is due to start on pole position. We have a maximum field size of 30, so it would be half of the grid. But you score points in every race all the way down to 15th place, and then you get reversed to the front of the order. Lee Berridge has just had a big old jump over the curbs. He's having a bit of a scrap, but yeah, Jordan Butler looks like he's going to be the one that has to try and defend from these boys now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, mid-ball flag for straight up to his little hairpin shenanigans. But yeah, the reverse grid, very interesting format. I know a lot of people don't really necessarily like this, but I think it's a very either stress-inducing or excitement-inducing for the drivers, depending on where you stand in that top 15. It's never been too much of a challenge for the very fast driver we've had on track, but obviously when you're 14th or 15th and you get reversed to like the first or the second top spot, like, it feels like a victory. Yeah,
100%. But it's great to see the balance between the fast drivers that have the patience to make it through cleanly and score more points, and the fast drivers that get reversed further back and then always have trouble. We've seen it in all forms of motorsport with reverse grids where a driver could, do what Dylan's doing now and just drive away at the front of the pack and go on to win the first race of the night time after time, but then reverse them into the middle of the pack and they just always get involved in incidents because they're too overzealous. That may end up being the story tonight, but we'll have to wait and see. But these drivers need to be very, very careful when they're making their way through, because other drivers may not be as quick as them. They may brake earlier, they may brake harder, they may have lockups and all sorts. So I'm intrigued. But race 3 of the night isn't another reverse grid. That's the interesting thing. So if you do well in race 2, you are rewarded with another good grid spot for race 3 as John Roberts gets into the back of Danny Weir and again finds himself in the gravel out there on the exit of that hairpin. Back on with it he goes. James Pallett has had a black flag and is in the pits, so he will not be starting on pole position for race 2. It was Jean Breitenbach, Simon Price in the chat saying if he was in 15th, he'd just bin it.
Well, he would just bin it even if he was 20th.
Oh.
I would disqualify everybody for him to win that race.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for those that don't know, at the end of the Formula CDM British Series, Francois did genuinely ask me if he could just disqualify everybody else just so Simon could get a race victory. And I was very close to just saying yes. Mike Kenyon side by side with Jordan Butler right now as they head out of the first complex. Up the hill they go towards the hairpin. This could get spicy. Let's see who's later on the brakes out of these pair, because none of them are getting slipstream. This is just going to be last of the late breakers now.
Yeah, I'm watching and trying to figure out who's going to lock his tires first.
You know what?
And looks like none of them will do. That's very clean.
That was lovely stuff. Martin just getting it right on the inside line, though. You would have thought that Jordan, with the outside line, would have been able to carry more speed through there. But then again, he's got about half of his car left on the front of it after the earlier contact. He's really throwing it down the inside, tries to go over the curb. Matt Hoyland with a slowdown penalty, a little bit too overzealous through the chicane himself. 10 places gained for Matt Hoyland at the minute. A fantastic drive from the tail end of the order. Alex Fretwell going well as well in the 9PP racing machine. Some great drives through the order at the present moment. As Fretwell just blinked in and out. Oh no, has he just disconnected? He just blinked and I think he's gone. Oh dearie me, I don't know if you can have a look in the session and confirm that for us, Francois, but
yeah, he's not appearing anywhere.
Oh no. That is devastating because Fretwell was going so well through the order.
Mr. Fretwell is DNF for me in the session.
Oh, man. That's gutting. Hopefully he can reconnect before the second race of the night and try and make his way back through the order, but he will drop below 16th, I'm sure, with that, if Stuart Clark continues on and finishes the race. A little battle here between Jean Breitenbach and Ashley Beard. Good to see Ash getting back amongst it in the Spontex CDM Esports blue car. Great to see that there's battles all the way up and down the order as well, isn't there? You know, it may have spread out a little bit in places, but you know what? I think everyone's having a pretty good run through the order at the minute and a good battle.
Yeah, that's always been the strength of the CDM series, you know, whether you are gutted in a car or absolutely ridiculous, you would always find somebody to battle with on track, and I think that's really what does that series justice, you know, you don't have to be the esport legend to actually have fun on track.
Yeah.
And I think these drivers are showing it just now. We have a lot of competition in the front, a lot of fighting in the back as well. It's just action packed everywhere.
Absolutely is. A bit of a gap now between Sam Van Olst and Jan Stitchbury. Sam chasing some solid points to start his campaign. Of course, this is just pre-season testing, so this is just a format test, a broadcast test, driver test. Gives everyone a chance to get familiarised with each other, but we will basically import some championship points so you get an idea of how the point scoring goes over the course of the evening. We will be able to show you that at the end of each race. Well, right now,
Alex Fretwell confirmed connection dropped due to packet loss.
Oh man, that is gutting. Absolutely gutting stuff. He is, yeah, it says he only completed 0.75 of a lap on that last lap that he was doing, so just disappeared partway around. Huge shame. But we look forward to hopefully getting him back in the remainder of the session. Jordan
Silver lining is it's only pre-season.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Hopefully it's an issue that he can either sort out or at least not have repeat during the main season, as Martin Kenyon has had a slowdown penalty in the final corner. Looks like he's got nothing to worry about in terms of losing position though, so he should be all right. Matt Hoyland, by the way, just up the road, he's starting to really catch up with Lee Berridge. He's now going to get in the slipstream of his countryman. This is the battle for second place of all the Brits. Ben Gregory at the moment running in 5th place is the lead British driver effectively. There is the flags for you all. I mean, Jack Johns is British, but he is a citizen now of the UAE, living out there. So Ben is trying to fly the flag at the moment. Oh, excuse me, it's doing all sorts of woohee, all Mexican wave stuff. It's fancy, isn't it? Look, you can get it to do this. It's all lovely. Ooh, it's all lovely, this. Look at that. It's fantastic. Anyway, you've got to love SDK Gaming. Big shout out to them for the overlays that we use here on CDM. Down the inside goes Hoyland, and you can see Berridge thought, you know what, mate, you just sod off. You just crack on. Although, you know what, he's not saying crack on, because look, can you see Hoyland? Oh, you can see more than enough of Hoyland. Through the bumper he goes.
I definitely didn't think I would see him inside Matt's tonight, but, it is what it is.
Oh, I've been asked what's on top of Hoyland's car.
I think it's a dog.
Yes, I think it's Matt's dogs. Matt has, well, I say dogs. Matt's got 2 Dachshunds. Look like a plucked chicken, apparently. What?
Yeah, because there's like Dachshunds, and then there's Danny's dog as well.
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
yeah. It's the dog's nose. Yeah, that doesn't look. That doesn't look the most appetizing, does it?
Yeah, my mind is going places.
Oh dear,
now.
it's puckered. It's puckered and ready to go. Goodness me. Oh, right, battle is still on here. Let's go on board with the other one. Danny Weir now trying to scare Harry 7 out of the way. He's got Jordan Butler just in front of him. Harry 7 going well, considering that he started 17th on the grid. Putting in a solid performance so far. But yeah, it's Danny's dog that's on top of the car. And Matt's dogs as well. Matt's got 2 Dachshunds. Hilarious little thing.
I think Matt's dogs are on the side of the car, whilst Danny's is actually the one on the next to the roof.
I love it. Simon said he was being polite. Yeah, Simon. Yeah. Ben Gregory under attack here from Jack Johns. These guys near the front have had a bit of a lonely-ish race. I mean, they've spread out pretty much throughout the entire race, but Dylan DaCosta continuing to just drive away. He's 8 seconds clear. That'll make Rob Sutherland, the team boss, happy. That'll make Jack Johns happy as Gregory runs wide into the left-hander. Jack can sense some final points with one more position gained. Bit of a bump there for Ben. I really held my breath there because that could have been much worse. It was, fortunately for us, it was Ben that bounced off the side of Jack's car rather than him turning Jack into the barrier. But they're having a good old ding-dong, these two, with just one more lap to go. Up at the front, it's Dylan DaCosta in the gorgeous RD SimSport machine. Having a little bit of a lock-up here and there, but he's really shown everybody how to drive this car so far tonight.
Yeah, that's just a proper demonstration of what skills can, or how fast you can go in that very not fast car. Yeah, I was watching the track map, and the interesting thing is that besides Dylan, the 16th, so Jan Rosberg and Stewart in 15th. Everybody is having a little fight. So I don't think that shows that people go. I don't think a lot of people got bored tonight.
No, hopefully not. I mean, they've got 2 more races to get bored in yet, so we'll see how they go in those. But yeah, we've got some interesting battles going on, the main one of which is Jordan Butler here, with these guys behind, look. There's 5 of them separated by less than a second each, and they could all fight with one another onto the final lap here. It's currently Stuart Clark showing us exactly why you carry on for the full race, and he's currently on his way to pole position in race number 2, if he continues
the good
on.
news is we have Alex back with us.
We do. Alex Fretwell back in the session. Great to see. Very, very good to see. But he's not very happy, as you can imagine.
No.
But
Crying in the chat, so we can only imagine crying in the pit as well, but it is what it is. Pre-season, mate. You've got this.
yeah, man, absolutely.
Oh, all right.
That's Danny Weir off the road.
That's not a shortcut.
No, that's not. That's a long cut.
That's the joker lap.
Danny Weir going straight on there on the brakes. John Roberts moving over on the left-hand side. I think he was serving a slowdown. Danny's now going to... Oh!
Okay.
Yeah, that would scare the life out of me too, to be fair. Jesus, that's a big old hit as well. Round the final corner, though, everybody in chat, put your hands together. Dylan DaCosta showing us how it's done here at Magny-Cours. He wins the first race of the night in the CDM Clio Cup. He is the first ever race winner in this championship, and he does a fantastic, fantastic job. Second place to Sam van Olst for Gold Sus Racing. Jan Stitchbury next up in 3rd position. Well done to him. Podium on his debut. Jack Johns next up in 4th place ahead of Ben Gregory in 5th. Those two had a nice little scrap most of the way through that race. Let's see who remembers to do a full in-lap. Matt Hoyland, 18th on the grid to finish 6th. What a drive that is. Very, very well done by Monsieur Hoyland.
Especially since he crashed.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. He had that spin.
One could only appreciate the comeback twice.
Yeah, that is pretty gutsy stuff. Here's some fights a bit further down. John Breakback trying one more move on Harry 7. John Roberts hop, skip and a jump over the final chicane. Two of them get black flags right near the end to serve. And oh, dearie me, I'm interested to see how that one plays out with the final results. Ash Beard, welcome back to iRacing Ash. 14th place for him. He'll be wanting more from the next race. Stuart Clark, 15th. And he is going to be on reverse grid pole position. I think Ash is going to pull over. And yeah, Ash wasn't there for the driver's briefing, in fairness to him. But if he disconnects now, I'm going to kick his head in. There you go. Right. But I'll remind him, Stuart Clark finishes 15th. And he will be on reverse grid pole position for race.
Probably not the result he wanted, especially after his incident, but the consolation being he's going to start the second race on pole. Now I'm very excited to see how will the faster guys actually drive through traffic, because one could be a little bit worried doing reverse grid on Formula type car because they are quite fragile, but these cars are not. They're sturdy beef, so... You know, Dylan, he finished 10 seconds ahead of the competition. Let's see if he can find gaps and try to climb his way back to the first step again.
Yeah, fingers crossed, we'll have to see. Stuart Clark crosses the line, completes the race. I'm just going to, if you bear with me, I need to just message Ash. It's part of the rules. He wasn't there for the driver's briefing, though, like I said. So now, after completing the first race of the night, we go straight into the second race. That's how it looks then. Dylan DaCosta from Sam van Olst, Jan Stitchbury, Jack Johns and Ben Gregory. Matt Hoyland, Lee Berridge, Martin Kenyon and Jordan Butler. Harry 7, Danny Weir, Ashley Beard was classified 12th ahead of Stuart Clark. John Breitenbach, and it's going to be John Roberts on pole position for race 2. Jan Osberg, Alex Fretwell and James Pallett complete the field. This is your grid then. John Roberts and John Breitenbach with Stuart Clark next up and Ashley Beard in 4th place. Then it's Danny Weir and Harry 7, Jordan Butler and Martin Kenyon, Lee Berridge and Matt Hoyland. And the rest of the grid will be basically reverse of how they finished, down to 15th. And it's Jan Osberg, Alex Fretwell, James Pallett completing the field. Straight back into the action now, Francois. Another race to get going. It's going to be called the Constellation. Who's your money on?
Well, looking at that top 4, I don't know. I'm I'm going to say RE7. He's had a quite clean race on the first one. Now he's starting thick, so let's see if he can stick to that position and have a good finish.
Looks like a few people might have already had black flags here and jumped the start. John Roberts, one of them, our pole sitter. He's unfortunately got a black flag straight away. Stuart Clark looking down the inside. Look at Ashley Beard around the outside trying the moves as well. Very busy stuff straight off the bat here. Wow, there was really no respite whatsoever, and we are back underway racing in Clio Cup as loads of them run off wide on the left-hand side. That is Jack Johns and Martin Kenyon both running wide, but John Roberts is the one with a black flag at the front of the pack. He will not be happy with that. It's black flags bookending the order, as we say. Now let's check out this hairpin. Oh, Lee Berridge. Lee Berridge.
Oh my. It's Clio falling season.
Martin Kenyon having a bit of contact in there. But what on earth? You could see it coming. I was looking at him miles away. You could see what was happening. Oh, no. Lee is going to be kicking himself there about that one. Let's have a look at it. So he's up behind Ash Beard, moves over to the right, and then gets on the brakes way too late. It's already, the revs are dead. He gets off it, and he can't get out of the way.
I think, in all honesty, I think it was just trying to pay tribute to Alex's move on Montreal on Formula CDM, you know, since Alex actually crashed out of the first race. I think he was just trying to pay a little homage to
Hold your breath.
his fellow driver.
Oh, goodness me. I hope John's not on a direct drive wheel, because that would have been very nasty. Danny Weir is now dropping down the order. Danny's around. Danny's lost places. And in there as well is James Pallett. Would you look who's in fourth? Dylan Da Costa already up into fourth place. Yain Stitchbury up into third, just ahead of him. But now Dylan's got to start up as Jordan Butler goes wide. Dylan's got to now start gaining places, overtaking people rather than just driving off at the front. Oh, big jump over the curb there for Jordan. Absolute mayhem on the first few laps, or first lap. God, that's one lap. Absolutely insane.
I don't think anybody's doubting Dylan's ability to climb his way back through the field, but I think so far he's not pushing. He only has to play Battle Royale.
He absolutely does as well. It's Ben Gregory that lost it onto the brakes, and a big old whack in there for Ben. And then Harry Seven.
Deja vu.
Yeah. John Roberts saying it was a boosted moment, the accident earlier on. And Simon saying that Lee was just delivering John's black flag to him. Oh, James. Whoa, what happened to James? Oh, those front tyres are going to feel like 20 pence pieces now. Oh, dearie me. Those front wheels are now square. Jordan Butler and Ben Gregory having a fight then. It's John Breitenbach leading the race. Oh, he's there somewhere. Cameraman falls over. Matt Hoyland currently in second position. Third and fourth, though, Yain Stitchbury and Dylan Da Costa. They're going to be worrying these two at the front of the field because they've still got 17 minutes of this race left to go. And look at the smoke coming from John's car. He can't quite get it stopped in there. But instantly, this just shows how competitive it's going to be.
Yeah, I hope Matt is not going to suffer from these life-lasting curves, that is being on top at some point of the race and then falling short of winning. But so far, a very, very action-packed race. The first one was quite clean, apart from a few misses here and there, but the second one is definitely more packed.
Yeah, absolutely. A few incidents here and there. The cars are there behind the bridge somewhere, I promise you. Yain Stitchbury under pressure here from Dylan Da Costa for third position. I'm intrigued to see how Dylan makes this one work, because we know that Stitchbury's not going to let him through easily. Yain, very, very quick, finished second in that earlier race. So the two of them are making their way back through. Look at the hop, skip and jump. Hoyland's going to go for the lead here by the look of it. Side by side with John Breitenbach down towards turn one. And Hoyland is going to have that inside line and surely have the race lead. Yes, he does. Jean gives him all the racing room he needs. Nice, fair stuff. But it's the HW Racing machine that now takes the lead of this race. And the battle is on for first position here between all of these guys. Very, very close stuff.
Yeah, John and Matt obviously racing against each other for quite some time now in different series and different cars. So you and we both know they are fair drivers, clean drivers, but very competitive. So let's see how this develops, especially since Yain and Dylan are just catching up.
Absolutely. Nearly a bit of a push into the hairpin actually, and Yain down the inside makes it through. Nearly contact on the exit now. He's side by side with John Breitenbach. Is he going to be able to stay in front? Jean kissing wing mirrors with Jan. These two have raced each other in ESR quite a lot. Now they're going to really hold each other up here, actually. Look at Dylan. Makes it 3 wide down the inside. Surely can't make that move work, but it's Dylan da Costa. We've seen just how good he is in this car. Gets it stopped on the apex. And you know what? He's done it. He's absolutely done it as Dylan. As Sam Van Olst gets a jump scare. Jean Breitenbach and the big South African flag machine slams it in his face. But what a move. What commitment that was by Dylan da Costa. That could very easily be a hero or zero moment, and he nailed that.
Yeah, I think I was watching him going into that little wavy sector, turn 7, 8, 9, and 10, because obviously Dylan's quick. We've seen that in the first race, but I think to win races, you need to be smart as well. And I think he did the most perfect thing he could. Just trying to pay up on any the others' mistakes. Obviously, Jin and Yayan finding their way into that very length section, trying to find a gap on the inside, and he found it.
Absolutely did. Just seen that Jack Johns is no longer in the race. Not quite sure what's happened to Jack here, but we're going to see.
I think Jack Jones suffered the same fate as Alex Fretwell in race 1.
Yeah.
Jack dropped.
Interestingly as well, the first person to overtake him was Alex Fretwell. Alex is now up 10 places, by the way, from 17th on the grid. He's having a really good run in this race. He's got Martin Kenyon just behind him, running in 8th place. Martin, the only driver at the moment that is currently where he started. Side by side for 4th place here between Jean Breitenbach and Sam Van Olst. Side by side, who's going to lock up first? You know what? They all got it stopped. As for the lead, Dylan da Costa already down the inside of Matt Hoyland. This boy's rapid.
I think he was born in a Clio.
He must be, yeah. Well, I mean, he is French, so he knows him inside out, but flipping heck, it is very committed by Dylan da Costa. Look at this, really attacking Hoyland. Matt trying to channel his inner Forza sweat to try and be as quick as he can be. But Dylan just... I mean, even in the way he's driving the car, look, it just looks so calm, so smooth everywhere. Like he's not putting more lock on than he needs to. Watch how much lock he puts on through here. Minimal lock whatsoever to get the car to do what he needs it to do. He just seems to be one step ahead, doesn't he? It's amazing. Look at that. That is
yeah, he does. That's the difference when we were watching Dylan drive a bit. I think when you're watching somebody who's not used to the car, you're gonna see a lot of oversteer or understeer and a lot of rear locking. When you watch Dylan, it just never happens.
Yeah, it's just so smooth, so tidy everywhere. At the end of lap number 4, Dylan da Costa leads here at Magny-Cours from Matt Hoyland, Jan Stitchbury, Sam Van Olst, and Jean Breitenbach, the top 5 at the present moment for this lead. But to be honest, I think it's going to be 4 for second place now that Dylan is at the front. We'll have to see what his lap times look like, and he is going to be, I'm sure, flying away with this one. Just a quick update on the right hand side of your screen. You can see it's 20-2 in the afternoon here in the sim. That may mean nothing to some of you, and you're thinking, why is Chaz going on about what time of day it is, as Hoyland's got a slowdown penalty and losing places. But what we do here in CDM very often is replicate a full day's racing. So practice will start at 9 AM, and then qualifying will be at 10:30. Race 1 will be at 12 o'clock. Race 2 will be at 1:30. Then we'll have the warm-up at 3 o'clock, and then the final race at 4:30. So it simulates a full day of racing, as if there were other series sharing the circuit with us. And it also means the drivers have to be versatile to deal with different conditions, different track temperatures over the course of the day. As Hoyland goes in deep there and loses the back end, but manages to actually get it stopped in the end. Good stuff.
In a series where tires are going to be so important, I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how drivers think about saving the tires, because when it's hotter, you don't necessarily want to push as much as when the tracks are a bit cooler. So
yeah,
it's all not going to be relying too much on just memory and just forgetting about the settings, because sometimes it could bite you back.
Absolutely could. Jack Johns is back out on circuit, I'm happy to say. He's just trying his best to pound around and gain some positions back. Now, what's worrying for everybody else here is that Dylan DaCosta, if he wins this race, he's now going to start on pole position for race 3 as well. So don't forget, race 2 sets the grid for race 3. God, they go high over those curbs. There's going to be some funny pictures from that. Sam van Olst wiggling around all over the curbs behind Ian Stitchbury. It's making an awful noise. But they're all just trying to pitch the car in as best they can, using that curb and that side of the circuit. Here is Hoyland now, trying to find a different line to go down the inside. Watch out for Sam van Olst coming back from the left-hand side. There he is. Yeah, a good view of the series logo there and the fat backside of this little Renault Clio. As they head up towards the hairpin now, Hoyland's going to have some big slipstream, and I wonder if he's going to go for a move.
You can see, apart from Dylan, how everybody else is tightly packed together, trying to enjoy each other's slipstream, not to get a bit too lost or get dropped. I think top 3, top 4 in each race is, like, I don't want to curse anybody. I don't want to say that Dylan is going to win everything, because you never know what's going to happen. But if he keeps showing that sort of pace, he's going to be fighting for at least a podium in every session. But the top 3, top 4 after Dylan is going to be quite tight.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be just about anybody. We've got Van Olst up 11 places, Stitchbury up 11 places. We just wait now to see if Hoyland can unsettle them. Hoyland strangely didn't qualify. I'm not quite sure why that was. I think he just wanted to see what his pace was like relative from the tail end of the order. But he showed us a great drive in race 1. Despite the spin and the accident, he still managed to be right up there and get a decent position out of it. He's pushing Sam van Olst around a lot of this circuit, though, as Sam's actually got a slowdown penalty, so he's going to lose that position now as he gives that time up. Hoyland in the HW racing car is going to go past on the left-hand side. Jean Breitenbach not quite able to stick with these guys just yet, but, well, having Van Olst right in front of him might help with a bit of slipstream.
Maybe, yeah. I was about to say, Matt, the only thing you'll get if you keep rubbing in the other cars like that is a restraining order, but obviously he's doing a proper job, because do you think he pushed Sam van Olst a bit?
He did, yeah. He definitely gave him a bit of a shove around the hairpin there.
What a guy. Legend.
Just to help a little bit. Van Olst using all of the road, hoping for some sort of slingshot, but you can feel the pain there, can't you, of a front-wheel drive car with 160 horsepower, hardly a GT car, really struggling around that part of the circuit. Jordan Butler's got a slowdown penalty. He's going to have to give up some time, and Ben Gregory isn't too far behind him, so he's going to be trying his best with what's left of his Clio to at least gain a bit of ground, although I can't imagine that's the most slipstreamy Clio right now.
Not really, but it does look more French.
Oh, well, that was a big change for Jordan. He knew that he had to serve that slowdown penalty, and he must have gotten right to the end of the tethers with it, and, well, had to back off a lot.
That's the danger of being a bit greedy with your penalty, because, like, you are gonna, in most of the situations, you can just slightly left, and it's gonna be enough to clear slowdown, but sometimes it's not, and you have to slam the brakes, and you're lucky when nobody's around you, because if you do that on the racing line, on the very tight pack, it's gonna create chaos. A nice reaction from Ben to avoid that.
Oh, apologies. I just realised I was muted there. I was having a drink, and then I messaged Francois about the quality of the stream, and I decided to mute myself. Sorry, but yeah, I was just saying Jan Rosberg doing well, 6th place after a less than ideal first race of the night, but now Hoyland has lost out to Sam van Olst, and Sam again wiggling all over the road out there, using every little bit of that surface. I'm not quite sure what sort of benefit that gives him. Well, Fretwell and Rosberg both going pretty well here at the moment, Francois. They both gained 10 places each.
Yeah, well, I'll come back from Alex, obviously not being able to just even finish the first race to the top 7 so far. And he's not done.
No, he's not. He's going to try and get past Jan Rosberg on the right-hand side now. The two of them side by side all the way to the hairpin. Look how much room they're giving each other. Just because they know the road curves around here, they were giving each other plenty of space to make sure they don't kiss wing mirrors, although they end up doing so, actually, on the way into the hairpin. You don't need to do it, boys. Ooh, I don't know why they were so stuck together there, but yeah, Fretwell runs deep as a result of it. Obviously got in his head, and now Kenyon says, cheers, boys. And now he's side by side again.
there's a little detail I just now realized is on these cars. You see the little color bit, the red bit on the roof of Alex's car.
Yeah.
It does look like it's like a driving school car with that detail on top. So now I can't not see driving school cars.
Yeah.
Just finding it on track.
They need the big red L's on the roof, don't they, with the big white
Yeah,
sign, or a
yeah.
Domino's sign on the roof. You're going to tell me you don't have Domino's in France now, aren't you?
Yeah, we do, but we don't have big L's. So
Ah, okay.
we just have very slow cars hesitating on every exit in roundabouts.
Sam Van Alsten, Jan Stitchbury getting very friendly. Look at that by Jan, moving him all the way over to the right-hand side. Again, I don't know why he's doing it. Doesn't need to do it at all, and Van Alsten gives him what for and goes down the inside and goes through, and rightly so. I don't know what Jan was doing there, but he ran him all the way over to the right of the road, and Sam said, well, I'm not having any of it, thank you. That was very odd. I don't quite know what Jan was doing. I'm not going to lie, that's really confusing.
On the replay, it looks like both cars got a bit glued together.
Yeah, it wasn't like he tried to keep coming right, but just part of me doesn't know why he was insistent on being so far over to the right anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Very
but
strange.
I think, trying to find the limit, what you can do, maybe these two drivers did it. I don't think they've ever raced together before, so it's all
No,
about
I don't think they know
measuring
each
the
other.
competition a bit.
Whoa. Noisy little Clios here down towards the hairpin. Martin Kenyon on Alex Fretwell. That looks hot from Martin. Manages to get it stopped though. These guys are getting more and more used to the brakes here. And I'm intrigued to see by the time we get to round one what everyone's like on the brakes. It's Dylan Da Costa leading the way. 4.2 seconds clear from Sam Van Alst at the minute. And then Sam, well, I was going to say at the minute, well, there you go. He's got a slowdown penalty now, so he's going to have to give that up. Jan Stitchbury goes down the inside. Hoyland then goes down the inside, gets into a podium place. John Breitenbach holding on in 5th position just there. And we have Jan Osberg and Alex Fretwell not too far behind that, but Jan also gets his own slowdown penalty. Alex Fretwell and Martin Kenyon. Then Ben Gregory and Jordan Butler's having a quiet race so far. So too is Danny Weir. Those guys inside the top 10. But look at these three here fighting for the podium positions. Down the inside goes Van Alst, into the back of Stitchbury, into the side of Hoyland. It's feisty stuff from Sam Van Alst, but it's almost what I've come to expect from him by now, is a little bit of contact here and there. That was a little bit naughty.
Yeah, lovely save from that as well.
Yeah, it was. I mean, in these cars, it's just a case of floor it, right?
Oh yeah, but when I do that, I always crash it.
This is going to cost Matt time. Yeah, he was side by side with Breitenbach into the hairpin and then into the chicane. And now they don't want to be fighting too hard, because otherwise they're just going to lose ground to the guys ahead. They also don't want to make contact either, boys, as they head down in towards turn one. Hoyland sticks to the inside, though. He says, I'm not giving this up. I'm going to have a scrap. And for the second time this race, John gives him loads of room around the outside. Says, after you, sir. And now this is going to carry on between Stitchbury and Van Alst. Now, I'm no betting man, Francois, but based on what we saw earlier and how pushy Sam Van Alst just was there as he went past Matt Hoyland, I'm wondering whether we're going to see a bit of a send here from Sam.
I mean, I would hope so, for the content-wise, but obviously if that's done in a proper manner, because I don't want to see chaos or stuff like that, obviously, I think, and people would agree with me on that the CDM series have always been series with a quite high standard, so in terms of how people drove and how people respected just the racing etiquette in general, but sometimes when you get new drivers in, they're a bit feisty. They want to measure how everybody drive, and you see things.
You
Let's
do
just
see things.
Stop it at that.
Yeah, you do definitely see things, that's for sure. What they can't see at the moment is Dylan Da Costa, because he is over the horizon and he is 5.5 seconds clear of the rest of the field. He started 15th on the grid in this race, and by lap 4 he was leading. So fair play to Dylan, because he's shown everybody else how it's done at the moment. Sam Van Alst seems really good on the brakes into there, especially when he's not using other cars as brakes as well, actually. He's really good on the brakes through that part of the circuit. He can seemingly get it stopped where others cannot. Kenyon and Gregory both have slowdown penalties to serve. Gregory ahead of Jordan Butler now as, Ash Beard. Ash Beard out of the race.
Yeah, it looks like James Pallett had the moment as well. because it disconnected and then rejoined.
Oh,
But I'm sorry, I can't not just laugh at Gregory's car every time you put the camera on it, and it's missing his whole front.
The whole bumper gone. Just at least the radiator is going to be nice and cool in the front of it. But flipping heck. There's the French military flag being waved in the background to signify the final lap of the race.
Sing anthem.
I hope not. Jan Stitchbury, Sam Van Alst actually has taken to the flashing lights now to try and discourage Jan Stitchbury from finishing in front of him, but the battle is very much on between these two, and I'm here for it. It's going to be funny to watch, but I don't think that Van Alst can do enough just yet to get past the Welshman. Hoyland... Sorry,
I can never say a little slow down, they shake things up a bit, but...
Oh, that'll be a slowdown, surely. I thought that might have been from Van Alst, as though he's still looking down the inside, nearly contact as he manages to send it up there. Wow, very, very close stuff. But it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get him just yet. We'll have to see how he is on the brakes into this next hairpin after the chicane, because he is good into here, but I don't think I'd want to see him be sending it from this far back, to be honest. But look at the speed he's carried through there. It's really good, but then the car gets a nasty little four-wheel slide into the next hairpin. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Jan Stitchbury looks nice and comfortable. Not as comfortable as Dylan Da Costa. The Frenchman won the first race ever in CDM Clio Cup, and he's going to continue opening that account up further and further. Claps in chat as Dylan Da Costa takes 2 out of 2 so far here tonight in the CDM Clio Cup pre-season test. Very, very well done to him. A fantastic drive. Jan Stitchbury, second place ahead of Sam Van Alst. He's going to be pleased with that. Matt Hoyland up into 4th place. And then John Breitenbach just ahead of Jan Osberg and Alex Fretwell, who are next up across the line. Martin Kenyon in 8th place. And your favourite car in this one, Francois. What's left of Ben Gregory?
Well, still a top 9 finish when you left half your car on track somewhere. I think that's something to be commended as well. But if that's something we can, write down from these 2 races, it's we're gonna have a quite an exciting season.
We absolutely are.
And Stitch, Van Holst and Matt, Jim Bryan back behind him. And we've got 3 black flags, question mark?
Yeah, I think it's 3 drivers that got slowdown penalties right at the end and then couldn't serve them before they got over the line. So they'll have been converted into time penalties, which will get knocked down. It's quite harsh, actually, because that chicane is right before the start-finish line, so you won't even get notified by the time you cross the line there. We're on board with John Roberts. He's going to be the final car to finish the race.
Yeah, somebody needs to tell him there's no reverse grid on this 3rd race, so there's not need to finish 15th.
Well, you'd get a championship point.
Oh, yeah, that's very true. But knowing John, I think he's going to buy championship anyway.
Well, he's still got a minute to get to the line, so I think he'll be all right, actually. In the very bright green, wonderful boosted motorsport car, his teammate Lee Berridge finished in 14th position. But after that opening exchange of contact at the hairpin, I'm sure that the boosted team may not be too happy.
Yeah, no. But we can also just think that, it's pre-season. If every shenanigans of the season is happening now, I think was gonna... The only fun bits are going to be for us on the rest of the season, especially since some of these tracks, they are quite tight. I'm thinking, Okayama, stuff like that. So if they don't crash, if we get proper elbow racing, it's going to be nothing but exciting to watch.
Absolutely. Just a little reminder there, you can see it's now 3 p.m. in the sim, so time has ticked on, and I'm not sure if that clock's always accurate, actually, if that icon actually changes based on the time. But yeah, 3 p.m. in the sim, so it's moved on a little bit. Let's have a look at the result of race number 2 before we go for a little break. Dylan Da Costa finishes first ahead of Jan Stitchbury and Sam Van Alst. Pretty sure that's the same podium twice now. Matt Hoyland 4th with John Breitenbach in 5th ahead of Jan Osberg 6th. Alex Fretwell up into 7th from the back of the grid with Martin Kenyon 8th, Ben Gregory 9th and Stuart Clark completing the top 10. A good recovery from him. Jordan Butler was 11th ahead of Danny Weir, Harry Seven and Lee Berridge, with John Roberts would be scoring the final point in that race. Ashley Beard, Jack Johns and James Pallett did not complete the race. And what we're going to do now is just very quickly head into the overall standings, and I'm going to see whether we can get some championship points on the go. This is going to be a bit of a test, so I do apologise if this doesn't work out or look just right. Yeah, there we go. So the numbers on the right aren't quite working. That's a big shame, but I can literally fix that on the fly for you all, to be honest. I have the ability to do this, so if you bear with me, I'll show you how you can live edit CSS. You can't all see this, but I'm going to make sure that all the points and things are working. Let me just make sure. Ready?
While you're trying to figure it out, can we just appreciate Dylan being the very first French skilled driver we've had on the CDM grid?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, he is. He's, I mean, no, he's not. What are you on about? You are.
Oh, come on.
But no, it is amazing to see what Dylan has done already. He has certainly shown everybody how it's done here tonight so far. But that is how the championship points will look after 2 races. And you can see it's going to be close all the way through the order because of the fact that we have so many of the drivers all scoring only 1 or 2 points this way and that way away from each other. It's going to be super interesting to see how that plays out over the course of a full season. I'm just trying to find the position number because, as you can all see on the left-hand side there, the numbers are in white where they should be blue, obviously. So hopefully I can figure that out. Obviously, this is all stuff that can just be done in time, but I want to make sure that it's absolutely spot on and ready for the season, basically. But this is why we do these tests at the end of the day. This is why we're here, to make sure that we have all of the little details all dialed in and all correct. But that's how it looks at the moment anyway. You can all see that. I'm going to work on this behind the scenes once the season gets underway. But if you will bear with us here on Chaz Draycott Media, me and Dara, sorry, not Dara, I've done it again. Me, and I'm so used to saying it, I've actually just been changing the writing on the on the little message that's going to pop up. But me and Francois are going to just take a quick break here on Chaz Draycott Media, and we'll be back in 5 minutes' time. Don't go away.
Le circuit de Magny-Cours qui avait notamment été remis à jour pour accueillir le Grand Prix de France en 1991 et depuis lors, Laurent, le tracé a notamment été modifié dans sa dernière partie. Oui, avec le complexe du lycée et cette chicane qui est quand même très spectaculaire. On voit des voitures qui quand même arrivent à sauter sur les vibreurs. C'est quand même assez impressionnant. Vous avez des enfants avec vous, ça tombe bien, nous avons prévu toutes sortes d'animations pour eux, notamment les autotamponneuses, les grimages, les petites cartes électroniques.
Hello again, everybody. Chaz, Draycott and Francois Brandet here for the pre-season test of the CDM Clio Cup. And Francois, we've had a busy night so far. We were just talking about how quickly we went from race 1 to race 2. Luckily this time, a bit of a break before race 3, right?
Yeah, so everybody can have a little fresh drink and time to rethink about how to brake going into the hairpin, because we've seen quite the bowling pins, or cars being turned into bowling pins in the second race, rather. Sorry. So yeah, let's hope our drivers cool down a bit, and let's hope for a 20 exciting minute to end the night on.
Absolutely. 20 more minutes to go then, and it's Dylan Da Costa starting on pole position for the second time tonight. Can he get 3 race wins? Jan Stitchbury will start alongside him, with Sam van Olst and Matt Hoyland on row 2. Then it's John Breitenbach and Jan Osberg in 6th place, ahead of Alex Fretwell and Martin Kenyon. Ben Gregory and Stuart Clark line up on row 5. Then it's Jordan Butler alongside Danny Weir, with Harry Seven and Lee Berridge on row 7. John Roberts is 15th ahead of Ashley Beard. Then it's Jack Johns and James Pallett starting towards the rear of the field. Keep an eye out for Jack Johns coming through the order, because he, from back here, is going to be a very fast boy, is Jack. He's one of the quicker guys here tonight, but he just had real bad luck, much like Alex Fretwell in that first race, actually, Francois, with a disconnect.
Yeah, a few of our drivers actually getting the internet or the power unit curse tonight, so let's hope they find a way to fix it before we properly go into the season.
Here we go then, third and final race of the night is underway here at Magny-Cours, and again, much like in race 1, it's Jan Stitchbury moving over to the right-hand side to try and cover off any sort of attack from anybody else. Hoyland, Breitenbach sideways in the background. Hoyland was trying to defend there from Sam van Olst. Looked like everybody else managed to keep it together. No, John Roberts is off the road. Not quite sure what's happened to him, whether he's had contact with somebody else or what, but there was definitely a little bit of argy-bargy in the middle of the field there. Martin Kenyon side by side with Jordan Butler. Whoa, Jan Osberg cutting the nose off Ben Gregory as they go up towards the hairpin for the first time. But we've seen some drama down here before, Francois. Will we see it again?
Yeah, indeed. I think, was it Matt was trying to politely put Jean on the right side again?
Oh, there it is.
And he's around.
That is Danny Weir going hot on the brakes this time round into Jordan Butler. And Ash Beard lost a couple of places in all of that. Alex Fretwell, he's in there somewhere. He's gained 2 places off this start already, so he's having a good run towards the front of the order. But once again, it is Dylan Da Costa leading the way, although big lock-up from a number of the guys there. A lot of the time, though, that's just the left rear scooting along the ground. And it's not always necessarily the front wheel that's locking up. Oh, hello.
Little sideway demonstration from our South African driver.
John Breitenbach having a bit of a moment here. Not sure if there was contact on this one, whether he's just going to bounce off somebody else or whether it's just going to go around on him. Wow, that's weird for a Clio.
Yeah, but you know, John is quite a capable driver, so he's the one who can make stupid stuff like that. I think he can.
Well, he's unfortunately dropped a lot of time as a result now. Here's Martin Kenyon, currently running in 10th position. The battle is on. Oh, no, Stuart Clark once again buried out of the way by Jack Johns. Oh, dearie me. Jack was back across the front of him and, well, turns one, gets turned the other way, I guess, but that was pretty naughty stuff from at least one of them. We'll have to have a look and see what happened here.
I think a little bit of overexcitement going into the last bit of track. Obviously, the slower car just being like a moving blockade in the middle of the track. I don't think that was really meant to end up like that, but Jack obviously going into the last chicane way faster than the white Clio of I don't know who.
Stuart Clark.
Ended up in chaos.
Yeah, I think Jack went all the way back over to the left, not expecting Stuart to still be there, I think, and then yeah, ended up in contact as the two of them came together. Harry Seven has gone straight on at the hairpin, whoop, nearly straight to the back of Danny Weir as he actually gets a demon run out of there because he went so far off. He's got an amazing slingshot back down, and he's gone, you know what, I'm going to go through. Harry Seven, for some reason, car number 5, even though he should be number 7 tonight, as his name precludes. So I'm not quite sure what the situation is there as Danny's locked up. You could hear the revs drop, actually. Stuart Clark now doing the same. Hopefully Danny rejoins safely. Stays side by side next to Stuart. It's absolute mayhem once again here in the Clios, but it's exactly what we expect. Kevin Zemstra in the chat. Good to see you, mate. You're saying please no red livery. Wrong chat. These two,
Yeah.
they need to get married.
7, he's number 7 for me as well, so I don't know what's going on with the numbers on the race, but just a little oopsie probably from the server.
Yeah. I wonder whether he joined before it got allocated. I wonder. Because he was in the server straight away, was Harry, so maybe something to do with that. Dylan DaCosta, fastest lap of the race, 1:56.0. Ben Gregory in the pit lane with a black flag. He's got a drive-through penalty. Big shame that is for Ben, and I think he might be calling it a night, unless he's got some sort of damage that he needs to have fixed on that machine. Or it might just be that he sits there for a while. We've got Alex Fretwell up in 4th place at the moment, going really well. He's gained another 3 places in this race. He's been definitely the comeback driver of the night, hasn't he?
Exactly, yeah. Looks like having your internet cut off is doing wonders for Alex. Let's just hope he's not going to develop the same habit I had when we were doing the Formula CDM, in which I was not finishing the first race to score in the second.
I don't know what he just did there, but he had to lift off a lot. I don't remember seeing him have a slowdown penalty, but he's just lost those 2 places now to Jan Osberg and Matt Hoyland again, so maybe I should shut up every time he's doing well. Oh my goodness me, through the bottom of shot, Jordan Butler and John Roberts getting very friendly there for 13th position. Jordan just headbutting him into the hairpin. And again, Fretwell's got a slowdown penalty. Pushing that a little bit too hard at the moment is Alex. Running in 6th position.
I was watching the replay. For some reason, he actually braked in the straight line and dropped the gear and then re-upshifted again.
I wonder.
I don't know what happened.
He said earlier the sim shut completely on him before. It wasn't even an internet connection. It was just the sim having a problem. So I wonder if he's having similar again here, whether it's a display thing and when you can't see where you're going, you know, it's best to just slow down a little bit. We've had people before have monitors disconnect and all sorts, and drivers have to just jump to the side of the road. Good little battle going on here for 2nd and 3rd place once again. Jan Stitchbury and Sam Van Olst are going to be looking at wedding venues at the end of the night because these two have been absolutely inseparable so far. And look at them through that chicane. Although now they might be a bit more separable because Sam Van Olst, yeah, he has a slowdown penalty and he shaves a bit of time by moving one way and then the other. Matt Hoyland now trying it on Jan Osberg as they head in towards the first couple of corners. Interesting to see the different conditions though, isn't it, Francois? Now you really sort of pay attention to the different cloud cover and the sunshine. It looks like a completely different racetrack.
Yeah, exactly. I was looking at that. I think we dropped about 11 degrees from the 2nd race to our 3rd race of the night. So obviously different situation in the tires in the way you appreciate or get into a corner. Also, I wanted to point out that Yayan and Sam were only a second behind Dylan, but obviously Sam getting his slowdown and Yayan being dropped a tiny bit, but only 1.4 seconds. Still a slow, little smaller margin than what we're used to.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness me, there's cars everywhere at the moment. Oh no! Oh, John Roberts and Danny Weir into the wall.
I think they're having what's called not protected intercourse.
I mean, if we can call it that on YouTube, yeah. Danny Weir, he went straight on, There's a car in front gone straight as well. Look at that. He's lost the revs completely. Gets back on eventually.
How much can you turn that wheel down?
Oh, John, I think, expected to clear him and just hadn't at that point. It was interesting to see Jack Johns making moves as well. He was down the inside of Jordan Butler into the hairpin. He's now ahead of him and back up into 13th position after his dramas earlier on in the race. But a look at the track map shows you that there's a number of cars all still together. You're absolutely right though, Francois. Dylan Da Costa is not running away with this one as much as he was earlier on in the night. Let's have a look at his lap times now. A 1:56.2, 1:56.3 for him, a 1:56.8. So, yeah, half a second on Jan Stitchbrake and another slowdown penalty for Sam van Alst. That's going to drop him out of slipstream range. Then you've got Hoyland ahead of Ostberg and Fretwell now. This is the battle for 4th position between these three. And there's not a whole amount of daylight in it at the moment.
You reckon the drivers behind Dylan are slightly catching up on how exactly to drive that car, how to tame it, and they're starting to really understand how the mechanics work?
Yeah, I reckon so. I reckon we are going to see people just getting quicker and quicker as the season goes on. It's a difficult car to understand. It's a very strange behaving little race car. It feels very numb sometimes, and because of the lack of the power, you have to really try and make up for it elsewhere. But because it doesn't handle like a TCR car or a GT car, you've got to be so committed. And it's quite scary to have to throw it into corners and, you know, really work hard. Ash Beard had a bit of a nightmare in that second race earlier. He pulled over and called it a day, but now he's back up into the top 10 here from 16th on the grid. He's having a fight here with Harry 7-5. And we'll see how he can make this work as he tries to make up more ground. Lee Berridge with a slowdown penalty just up the road. There's a lot of them here at at Magny-Cours, and there will be a lot of them at Misano as well in a week's time when we come back for the first round of the season. We hope you're all enjoying the show here so far in the CDM Clio Cup. You're listening to Chaz Draycott and Francois Brandet in the commentary box. And we're certainly having a good time, aren't we, mate?
Also known as Fake Dara for me.
Yeah, Ladara.
Ladara. Oh, that's brilliant.
Dara Pierre. That doesn't quite work, sorry. On board now.
I was trying to figure it out. I was like, what?
It's like Jean-Pierre, but no. Not quite working. Yeah. Martin Kenyon behind Lee Berridge. Lee having another good race, considering that he destroyed his teammate in the first lap of the previous race. He's now running very nicely in 7th place, although Martin Kenyon seemingly doesn't want him to stay there, does he?
Yeah, I mean, what's a teammate? But just a punching bag. You know more than the others.
Very true.
I think Martin's quite used to that, or used to teammates not showing up. That's quite the strong pairing, you know, him and Jan. But let's hope Martin gets a bit more luck going into that season. Not that wide, Martin.
Yeah, Martin's track's over there. John Roberts has said he's had enough of being assaulted for one day, which is, yeah, completely true. I'm not surprised, John. We had the incident earlier on with, I think it was actually John had contact at turn 1, didn't he? I'm not quite sure who that was with, but he had a number of bits of contact after that. Stuart Clark and Jack Johns had their contact earlier on, which will be interesting to see if they resume that, because Jack is catching up onto the brakes into the hairpin. I did say earlier, watch out for Jack coming through the order, because he is very, very quick. He's a driver coach in real life, so he's a speedy boy. And I'm sure that he will be scoring higher placed finishes than 13th throughout the season. And it was Jack that he had contact with in the first corner.
Turn.
And I remember having to tell Jack to chill out a little bit in a previous league, so hopefully we don't have to have those words again. But he's eager to be back behind the wheel of the sim and show just what pace he's got. He's always an exciting driver to watch, especially in that livery. He's all over the back of John Breitenbach at this point. Simon.
Yeah, and you know, it's pre-season, it's a new series, it's a new mix of drivers. Everybody, I think, needs to find his footing going into that league, you know, getting used to the car, getting used to the people you will drive around, and you will fight on track for a decent position. People might be more patient than you. They might be a bit more eager to pass you on places you wouldn't expect them to. So I think it's going to be all about that. Jack Jones obviously showing that he has pace in him. Also a pair of headlights. Now let's see if he can drive maybe without aiming at John Roberts' ass a bit, as much as he did in the first race, or the first corner rather.
Very true. Stuart Clark on the outside line there, and Jack Johns trying to squeeze through. Gives Jean Breitenbach a bit of a push. Oh, there's more contact. Oh, dearie me. I don't know where he's expecting these boys to disappear to. But Stuart Clark was still there by the look of it on the inside. And then all of a sudden, there's more contact. Let's have another look at this. It looked like Stuart was letting him through, didn't it? Because he blinked the lights. If we go on board, actually, with Jack, just watch Stuart's brake lights. I think he taps the lights almost as if to say, there's a little blink, say, go on, go through. And then Jack, he does go to the right. There is a lot of netcode involved, but he does go to the right, and Stuart is still there. So
You probably think he cleared Stuart, then tried to cut across from John going into the next corner, but he's not had the gap just yet to do so, and he ends up, I think, cleanly, because none of them died, but still a bit messy.
yeah, absolutely. Hoyland, whoa, really attacking that curve through the right-hander there. He's got Jan Osberg and Alex Fretwell still right behind him. Great to see these three still very much in a fight. Can you tell that I really am proud of getting that battle box graphic working? Really want to use that wherever we can. A new overlay for this season as well. It's the Formula CDM overlay, but completely reworked. A lot more gradients, a lot of different colours, a lot more work behind the scenes to make my life easier with a lot of the buttons and what they do, and automating a lot more of it. So hopefully the show has looked nice and smooth from wherever you are sitting watching here tonight. We hope you're enjoying the CDM Clio Cup. Dylan Da Costa certainly is, because he is now 3.3 seconds clear of Jijn Stitchbury, who over the last couple of laps has had a couple of slowdown penalties. So too has Sam van Olst. So these guys not quite able to get back with our race leader, but you know what, they're trying their very best, and looks like Jean Breitenbach and Jack Johns are trying their very best to have more of a fight as Jack tries to cut underneath him. It's not going to quite work through there. He's going to give him another push into turn 2 as the car twitches from underneath him. He's got a slowdown penalty to serve as well now.
It's brilliant, but the only thing I'm afraid of, it's that extra aggression step. It's the one that's going to make like a couple of cars crash, because you tried a move that you didn't picture the way it ended. But everyone on the grid, everybody's fighting some... oh, yeah, I heard a noise.
We heard the noise. There was a bit of contact between Martin Kenyon and... Oh, in the background, Harry 7. Harry 5 is off the circuit.
Harry 5?
Harry Fiver.
No.
Now there's 4 cars in this fight. Not what Jack Johnson, Stuart Clark would have wanted.
Not really. But they're, Jack and Jin are still rubbing it together.
Ooh,
So I'm really expecting them to crash at some point, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want it either, but it's almost inevitable at this point. They're so close together, and they're both like, Jean is defending for his life and Jack is attacking like his life depends on it. And this is now going to be for a spot in the top 10 with the demise of others and the incidents others have had. Ben Gregory down in 16th place, which is a big shame after his visit to the pit lane earlier on. Watch Jack try and cut underneath him. No, he was going to, but he doesn't. He's going to try and now get the cut back on the exit. Lovely move. That's more like it. You don't need to run into him, though, Jack, on the exit. Oh, well, that is... Yeah, that's not great. That is not great by Jean Breitenbach. But you could see the aggression coming. I mean, I think he's slowed down to give it back. Yeah, he slowed down to give the position back to Jack, because I don't think he meant to touch him on the exit there. And he's slowing down to give the position back to him. Look, he's going to move over after the chicane, I'm sure. Yeah, and there you go. Look, he's giving him the position back, and Jack will pop on by. But yeah, there was a bit of scrapping going on. He's let him clear him, but only just. Goodness me.
So smart. I mean, that's why we love that series. Everybody's well behaved. Sometimes crash happens. I don't think nobody's ill-intended ever, but sometimes when it happens, you have to just acknowledge it happened. Most of the times, we see people giving the positions back. Sometimes we don't, but that's just a prime example of the philosophy of the CDM series.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if we go on board with Jean, you can see Jack does bounce over the curb here. Jean, I think, was putting a lot of lock on. He's not driven this car a lot, so look, he's got the lock on. He tries to come over to the right. I don't think he intends on turning Jack at all. And as we saw, he gave the position back sharpish, but yeah. Dramas?
Yep. I think we've got a ruined yellow car in the back.
Oh no. Oh no, Harry 7. Side by side with Stuart Clark. Don't do it, boys. Don't do it. Harry, where are you going? Oh, no. Oh, wow.
Oof.
That's a big old accident. I don't know where he was expecting to go. It's like these guys, they don't like to go in a straight line, do they?
Yeah, they're just allergic to having their wheels straight. I mean, it's Pride Month after all, but still.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
It's a sickening impact as well. Luckily, it is only a sim. But
Yeah, and so far, I think most of the incidents we've seen were
boys!
thinking that, yeah, I was about to say that. Just people tagging the rears of every other driver. Because, I don't know, if everybody thinks they cleared the people they're fighting with. But
yeah.
looks like our grid is going to have some size to figure out.
Yeah. Well, the stewards will be busy if this carries on all season. Flipping heck. The guys at the front are going to see this back and think, God, that was really boring at the front of the race. But, yeah, it's a bit of a different kettle of fish than it is further back. Wow. Very, very feisty stuff in the mid-pack. Good to see that Jean gave that position back, though. I think that he was trying to come over to the right just to try and block Jack off, but I don't think that he was... yeah, like you said, Francois, I think he was expecting Jack to have cleared him by that point, and then he hadn't. But I'll tell you one thing that's happened is that the order has gotten so mixed up with all these incidents and spins and bits of contact that it really has thrown up a very different order to what we saw at the start of the race. Ash Beard, on his return to iRacing, is now up into 7th position for Spontex CDM Esports Blue. Bear in mind that he hadn't driven the car until, well, he jumped in during qualifying. So bear that in mind, that he's managed to get his head around it as the evening has gone on. Jan Stitchbury still in second place with Sam van Olsen, Matt Hoyland right behind now. So it's these three for second position with 1 lap left to go. I think this is going to be quite the interesting fight if those two have a good first sector.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want to look at Dylan because you know how quick he is, and you don't expect him to have a mistake on the very last lap of the race. He mastered from the first corner to the last. But I think besides that top 4, everybody's had moments or fights to actually get involved in, and it's cool to see a grid of almost 20 cars getting so deep into the fights on tracks and getting their elbows out. Sometimes a bit too much, but still.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's been a little bit of overzealousness here and there that will definitely have to be reined in. As Butler, dearie me, gents. Again, Jack Johns just seems to be at the epicenter of all drama. Like, I don't get it. I don't get how he does it.
Jordan's not really the happiest at the minute.
What's that, sorry?
I said Jordan flashing his headlights didn't look like he was the happiest on the grid.
No, so Jordan goes in deep, Jean goes down the inside, runs wide into Jack, and then, oh dear.
That's both quite the aggressive dive and an aggressive rejoin. I think for one, Jack is quite innocent in that. He got sandwiched by the other two guys.
He absolutely did. Here's Sam van Ols now on the back of Matt Hoyland. Oh, giving him a bit of a push into the hairpin. This is the final lap of the race. Oh, Sam overdoes it on the lock on the exit though, and he's going to lose a bit of ground there. Now Hoyland is going to go...
Black flag.
Oh, he does. I mean, it's no surprise. He's bounced off just about everyone in this race. Not always his fault though, I must say. Just in case you watch this back, Jack, love you. But Jan Stitchbury's trying his best to hold on to second. Matt tries to sell him the dummy down the inside. Doesn't look like it's going to work. And are we going to see Jan's third podium of the night? We are definitely going to see Dylan Da Costa's third win of the evening. What an incredible performance this young man has put in. He heads into the penultimate corner, and he's going to go through the final chicane and take the win. 3 out of 3 here at Magny-Cours for Dylan Da Costa. Second place is going to go the way of Jan Stitchbury for the second race running, and Hoyland finishes out his evening with a podium. Very well done to him. Sam van Olst 4th. Jan Osberg in 5th place. I think that's his best result of the evening. Alex Fretwell next up in 6th position. Very well done to him as well. Ash Beard. Well, welcome back to iRacing, Ash. That's a way to come back, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we need to tell the public that we're not going to start a drinking game in which every time you hear Dylan Da Costa wins, you take a shot.
Yeah, that's going to be an official statement released by the championship, I think. Lee Berridge next up with Stuart Clark and John Breitenbach completing the top 10 despite all of his dramas in that one. Jordan Butler 11th. Jack Johns having to serve his black flag and go into the pit lane will lose positions. I don't think the results sheet will tell the full story of tonight for him. Ben Gregory across the line 15th, and James Pallett. We didn't see too much of James tonight, unfortunately, but hopefully as the season goes on, we see him fighting for positions further up the order. He had a bit of a tough time in all three of them. Not quite sure where he's driving off to at the moment. I don't know if he's still watching the broadcast or something. But the Jerseyman, he's gone in too hot. One more time, James. Do it again. 13 is unlucky for some, it seems. He's going to jump back on. And as long as he actually crosses the line here, he's going to finish ahead of Jack Johns, I'm pretty sure, with the black flag there. But what can you say about Dylan Da Costa, hey, Francois? It's hard to put into words how good he was here tonight.
Yeah, I can say a lot of things in French, so félicitations, Dylan. Obviously, a strong result, 3 out of 3. That's something you can be proud of. Obviously, if you did say that Dylan was quite used to the Clio, but he definitely showed that tonight because that grid is nothing short of competent drivers. And I say that as Matt ruins his car.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's a very, very strong result, and we can only hope that he maintains that level of just skill for the whole season.
Yeah, fantastic night for Dylan Da Costa. 3 wins out of 3 for him, with Jan Stitchbury in second place, Matt Hoyland in third, Sam Van Olst in fourth. Some big, strong point scorers, always near the front. Jan Osberg fifth, Alex Fretwell sixth. Ashley Beard was 7th, welcome back Ash. Lee Berridge was 8th, with Stuart Clark 9th, ahead of John Breitenbach completing the top 10. Jordan Butler was 11th, Danny Weir 12th, ahead of Martin Kenyon and Ben Gregory, with James Pallett, as I said, finishing ahead of Jack Johns, and he has scored a championship point, or will do in the season anyway. Let's not forget this is pre-season testing. Jack Johns 16th, that doesn't tell the full story. Harry Seven had a bit of an accident. There was a massive accident, and John Roberts really got knocked from pillar to post in tonight's races, so I'm sure that he will hope for a cleaner season when it comes around. What I'm just going to do now is retrieve all of our information and show you some theoretical championship points. With a night like that, that's how it'll look. Dylan Da Costa with 75 points, maximum points from an evening, with Jan Stitchbury second ahead of Sam Van Olst and then Matt Hoyland. But would you look at that behind then, it's so close. There are 3 points between the next 6 cars, with Jan Osberg ahead of Ben Gregory, John Breitenbach, Martin Kenyon, Lee Berridge. I mean, look at Jan and Ben. Ben was low down in that last race. Lee Berridge was as well, but just shows you how it could very quickly spin around the other way in this one. That was, a very interesting night of racing, to say the least. But everybody here tonight would have scored points. That's quite interesting to see.
Yeah,
so,
and Matt, I know these standings are obviously fake because it's pre-season, but we can only appreciate Matt being like fourth on these standings, as he started the very first race last and crashed.
yeah,
He still managed to climb his way back, and that's it's something you can be proud of.
absolutely.
But like I said, he's the kind of annoying person that whatever car he's in, he's going to be quite quick in. So
Yeah.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah, it's very, very true though. He is very quick in almost all things that you put him in. Let's have a look at some slow-mo footage, shall we? We'll get some songs on the go, and we'll have a chat with some drivers, because why not? We will have a little interview. Oh, I tell you what, there he is. There he is, Mr. Hoyland. Matt, what for one, must be very happy because, you've just scored yourself a podium, sunshine. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. Takes a little bit getting used to these after you've been in an open wheeler for 3 seasons, but yeah, it was good fun. A little bit of argy-bargy in places, but I think this course sort of lends itself to that. So
yeah,
except when people lock up into their pin and take the field out, but we'll gloss over that. But yeah, really good fun. Looking forward to the rest of the season.
What did you make of the car itself in terms of like handling and the way that it feels on the throttle? Because it's a very unique car in that way, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like it's like driving a wheelbarrow. You almost have to drive it like you don't have rear wheels.
Yeah.
So you're just waiting for the rear to comply enough to then you can get on the power, rather than like with your usual rear wheel drive stuff, you can drive it with the power around the corners a bit. But you try that here, and especially at Magny-Cours, like it's amplified at turn 3. You just the wider you go, the amount of cars that went wide on the race start was hilarious, because obviously the tyres were cold, nobody got any grip, and you were just driving straight off the track. So it's completely different. I mean, obviously I know some people drive these a lot. Obviously Dylan seems to be somewhat of an expert immediately. But they are definitely a completely different beast to anything except I can imagine like the TTRs.
Yeah, they certainly have their own their own set of physics, that's for sure. But Magny-Cours obviously out of the way. Maybe not the perfect circuit for these cars, although I don't know. But Misano to start the season. How are you feeling about going there?
Big fan of Misano. It's been a while since I've raced there, and I've obviously never done it in anything like this, but I do really enjoy the track. So I think it could lend itself to these quite well. I mean, especially with a bit of door banging, a bit of front to rear contact. At least if you do go wide, there is 15 miles of runoff, so you can sort of get away with it. But the only thing that did surprise me a little bit is how weak the toe is on these.
Yeah. Yep. I hate it.
I really expected it to be more of a thing, and I think if that was the case, you would have seen a lot more chopping and changing here tonight, especially down to the hairpin. But yeah, the Misano should be good. It's very flat, as we know, so not too many losing the rear moments to worry about under elevation change, I wouldn't have thought, but we'll see. Usually when I'm looking forward to it, it goes terribly wrong, but either way, I'm sure I'll have fun.
Yeah, it's a massive shame actually that the slipstream doesn't seem as strong as it is in real life. I mean, after commentating on Clio Cup Europe for 2 years, let me tell you, watching these things go 5 wide at Hockenheim because the slipstream is that strong is hilarious. So I can only hope that at some point iRacing sort that out, but the car's been around for a while now, so yeah, maybe not. Either way, Matt, thank you very much for joining us in the booth tonight, and is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to while we've got you?
I'll give a shout out to Danny, obviously my teammate. He's had some stressing and some rage moments this evening when he's been involved in crashes. Obviously, shout out to my 2 dogs that are on the car. Shout out to Danny's dog that's on the car.
Not a plucked chicken.
Just said Danny's dog placement. Just made some questions being raised.
I know, when I saw the roof cam, when I looked at the stream, I was like, oh god, that looks terrible from that angle. But yeah, it just seemed like a good spot for a bulldog. So yeah, aside from that, shout out to you, Chaz, as usual, and to you, Francois, since you've been commentating today. Yeah, looking forward to next week.
Cheers, Matt. Thank you very much, mate, and we'll speak to you again soon. Take care.
Bye, boys. Catch you later.
There we go, Mr. Hoyland. Always lovely to speak to him, and we'll very quickly move on to a driver that had a bit of a mixed fortunes evening tonight. Alex Fretwell in the box. Hello, mate. What happened?
Your guess is as good as mine. So yeah, all was going pretty well. Obviously, qualifying was a mess. I was on a pretty decent lap at the end of it, but it was cut short straight at the 0 on the clock. So didn't get that in. Made some decent progress, and then yeah, everything just disappeared. It's a new one for me. And then yeah, made it through pretty well in race 2, and then race 3. A decent pace, to be honest. Probably could have had a good result, but for some reason just got all the slowdowns in race 3. So yeah, I'm not sure what I started doing differently between race 2 and 3, but something to work on, that consistency. But yeah, pace is somewhat there, so yeah, it's a useful pre-season.
Absolutely, and I mean it's just good to get everybody in a race scenario and simulate the whole night, I guess, to get everyone together. You definitely do have the pace though, which is good to see. And what are your thoughts going to Misano in a week's time?
Yeah, more of the same, I think. Just obviously a lot of a steep learning curve, but definitely getting there. And we'll see. Obviously, I guess there's people that couldn't make it tonight, so there might be a few more come out of nowhere. But no, keep trying and just do the best I can.
Well, we look forward to it, Alex. Is there anyone you'd like to give a thanks to?
question.
Oh, go on.
Just a little question for Alex, not a really serious one, but in Formula CDM, you've had the story of having your teammate actually not showing up to the races. Tonight's your whole team, which disbanded. Do you think you're cursed?
Maybe, who knows? I'm not making any comment on that yet. But James, bless him, he was having problems with his clutch all night, and then for the third race, he managed to get it working, but it was inverted.
Oh,
so
mate!
The clutch for the entire race.
You're joking.
So he did all right, bless him, considering that. But we'll do some work and hopefully get him to speed for next week.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Alex, and yeah, we look forward to seeing you at Misano.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Oh, bless him. That's I mean, that sounds like a difficult night from any stretch, having your clutch reversed. But still, we jump to Danny Weir jumping curbs on two wheels. Danny, your dog's face made quite the impression this evening on our roof cam. How was your night?
Yeah. I heard. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, it was a mixture, a mixed bag. Obviously, everyone's learning these cars, so everyone's learning the brake points and how hard to brake and how when to brake. So first race, obviously, we had that massive little knock at the start, and then it seemed like everyone got overconfident in races 2 and 3 and was pushing the boundaries. So it got kind of worse. But no, it's a mixed bag. Race 1 did okay. Race 2 started okay, and then just obviously got cleared out. And then race 3, just again up and down the grid.
It seemed a bit chaotic. I mean, it was quite interesting because, as Matt Hoyland rightly pointed out, the slipstream on these cars on iRacing is nowhere near as strong as it is in real life, which is a massive shame because that's most of the car's unique selling point for racing. But it seemed like even though the field was spread out, there was always someone to fight with. Did it feel like that from where you were?
Yeah, no, it's definitely always a little battle on track, which is always good with CDM leagues. But yeah, you're right. You get in the tow, you think, okay, I'm going to catch him, and then straight to finish. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You don't even gain anything, which is it's frustrating, but it's obviously it means you've got to adjust your tactics. Obviously, these are a bit like touring cars, so you can give a little bit of a rub here and there. Like I had a little bit of argy-bargy with Stuart Clark. I was trying to force him to the inside, and he's whacking me out the way. So that was always good to be like them kind of knocks where you can do that and not damage the car. So it's always good. So it just means you just gotta go dig into your bag of tricks and see what else you can pull out.
Well, we shall look forward to seeing what else comes out the bag of tricks this season, I guess, then, Danny. Misano in a week's time, how are you feeling about going there?
It'd be a good track. I think should be better suited for these cars, I reckon. But yeah, it's just like anything else. It's just getting on the track, and it's completely different to how you expect it. So you have to play it how it goes, really. It's a nice track, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we look forward to seeing how you get on, mate. And yeah, thanks again for joining us in the box. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to? Well,
Matt's already done it, but I'll shout out to the dog trio and the special guest Francois today. It was good to have a Frenchman in the box, and also yourself for running the league and commentating as well.
Well, thank you very much, mate. Good to speak to you, and we'll hopefully speak to you again soon, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Well, there we go, Francois. Our first night of CDM Clio Cup completed here on Chaz Draycott Media. And I, for one, am terrified of what comes up next. Because that was lively at points, wasn't it? Considering we had 18 cars of the 23 that we've got signed up at the moment, that was a busy night in races 2 and 3 in particular.
Yeah, very busy, but I think, I hope rather that the excitement is going to settle a bit, once people are used to the car. One can only hope that we don't have to go through a lot of crashes in every race, stewarding wise, but knowing our drivers and the standards, we try to keep the league out. I'm not worried. I'm quite excited, but once again, I said that, but like from next week onward, I'm not going to be in the booth doing anything, so
Well, you can still be there to listen to me and Dara talk rubbish.
Yeah, I'll go back into my little corner.
I'm glad you didn't say what I know you want to say. Right. Thank you once again, there, Francois, for joining me in the box tonight. It's been fantastic fun to finally commentate together. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, the drivers, for putting on such a great show, and everybody that continues to support CDM and my English lessons that I very so clearly need. That's going to be it for tonight, though. Thank you once again for watching, and we'll see you in a week's time when we head to Misano.